Starting to freelance as graphic designers can be very hard because how are you supposed to get clients if you have no experience working with one? Well, actually that's not true. You don't always need past clients to get work. And in this video, I'm going to share with you how I got my first client and how you can too. Ciao besties, welcome or welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Viviana and I'm a brand designer who fully works on social media. For the past year and a half, I've been able to run my business only thanks to social media. All the inquiries and the clients that I got came either from Instagram or TikTok. Nowadays, small business owners tend to turn to social media to get a designer instead of big agencies. And that is why so many of us are able to make a living out of this. This, of course, is not the only way to make a career with design, but this is just the way that I do it, that has been working out for me. So if you're interested in following the same path, then the tips that I'm about to share might just be what you were missing to get your first client. Let's get into it. Let me take a sip before we start, and while I do that, you can subscribe to the channel. It's okay, I will wait for you. Alright, now let's get into it. The first big thing is that even if you've never had any clients, you don't need to tell people that. If you present yourself in a way that comes off as uncertain or inexperienced, then nobody's gonna want to hire you. Why would they put their trust in you if you look like you don't know what you're doing? This is when the famous saying, fake it till you make it, comes to play. And I know that it sounds a bit cheesy and like, really? Are you actually going there? Well, yes, because it is true and it works. The attitude that you have when you market yourself as a designer does 80% of the work for you at those beginning stages. You need to look confident and like you have your shit together. Emphasis on look, not be. Listen, as designers and creators in general, we all have one thing in common, no matter where we are in our careers: imposter syndrome. But again, this does not concern your possible clients. Of course, don't promise things that you know you won't be able to achieve, but don't sell yourself short either. If you're facing a difficult situation or one that you have never encountered before, which is likely if you're just getting started, it's completely normal to feel like anxious or scared. We have all been there. But don't worry, you will figure it out somehow. Clients need to feel safe in your hands, and they can't really do that if you are openly sharing your weaknesses with them. Alright, now that we have our attitude down, it's time to move on to the actual things that you need to do to attract clients. The first tip, which is the most important thing I would say, is build a portfolio. And no, let me stop you immediately. Your portfolio does not need to be made of client work because you don't have any clients or your school work if you attended college or uni. A good portfolio needs to show who you are and what you can do. If you've made a project but you don't really like it, then don't put it in your portfolio just because it's the only one that you have, because you're just gonna end up attracting people who want that style, and you don't like it, that is not you. Instead, what you can do is create a brand new project that fully represents who you are and the type of work that you would like to do for future clients. And this is when passion projects enter the chat. I cannot stress enough how vital passion projects have been for the success of my own business. Still to this day, half of my portfolio is made of passion projects. If you have never heard this term and you have no idea what I'm talking about, basically passion projects are made up projects. You can come up with the business names, what they are, what they do, their aesthetic, what they're looking for. You are basically your own client, which is kind of awesome in a way because there's no one telling you what to do, so you can just set your creativity free and really show your skills. Most of the times, that is actually what attracts people to your work. I love passion projects so much because you have the power to come up and work for your dream client and have a chance to actually attract them. If your dream client is a skincare brand, for example, then create a branding for a skincare brand, and maybe someone in the field will see that and will want to hire you to do the same for their business. You both win. Trust me, it happens a lot. So working with your dream client is just gonna benefit your business even more in the long run because you're gonna keep attracting those same people. If you have a strong portfolio that fully showcases who you are and what you can do, then people are gonna trust you immediately because you're not gonna have to sell them your skills. They're just gonna be in your work. They are gonna see that for themselves. And hopefully you're gonna get to a point where clients are just gonna let you do your thing. I've had some clients in the past that were like, I know nothing about design, I trust you, do what you do best. Dream scenario, honestly. It doesn't happen every time, but when it does, Chef's kiss. And I know that if you're new to this, the idea of coming up with a dream client on the spot might not be that easy. I personally had no clue what I was doing when I first started. And that is why we have pages on Instagram that provide design briefs every week, and there you can find all the information that you needed to create the branding. I'm gonna link some of them below, but I also have my own briefs, the Creative Basics Challenge. Yep, on my website you can download for free 9 different briefs. They have different difficulty levels if you're a beginner or if you're looking for something more advanced. There's mood boards, client questionnaires, guidelines for packaging, literally anything that can give you an experience that it's close to what it actually is to work with a real client. Now you have your portfolio, great, but who are you and how does this work? Personal branding is probably the most overlooked step when you're establishing yourself as a designer. Every time someone asks me how to get clients, I go on their profile and lo and behold, there is no personal branding, no website, no link to book, a few random logos here and there, and maybe at most something like DM me for work in their bio. And listen, I get it. I also started like this, and I also didn't have any clients for a really long time. But you know, that is why I'm coming to the rescue and make sure that you skip this awkward first phase. The reason why personal branding is so important is actually pretty simple. How are people going to trust you to create their branding if you don't even have a branding of your own? Having a personal branding is the easiest way to show people that you're able not only to create brandings for other people, but also for yourself. Through that, you can also let people know immediately what you're all about. Your style, your vision, the way you use color, typography. Your branding is your business card. And what a better way to use your branding than a website. Now, I know that websites can get a little expensive, and to be honest, I didn't have one either when I started. But if you do have the resources, you have to invest in a website. Looking professional is just as important as your portfolio if you want to get booked. Again, if you don't look trustworthy, nobody's gonna want to spend their money to hire you. Not a lot of it anyway. You get back what you give. I don't know if that makes sense. Basically, people are not gonna take you seriously if you don't look professional, and they're actually gonna take advantage of you, your skills, and your time if you happen to get booked. A website could be the perfect place to show what your business is at its core. You can list your service, talk about you and your experience, show your work, and have a separate page when people can book you. If you're not ready for a website yet, then there are so many other ways that you can do this. For example, you can use the highlights on your Instagram page to let people know that you have a process and how it works. My biggest advice is to have a place where you can link your service guide and a page when people can book you. A simple PDF and a Google form will work just fine. Just by doing this, you're giving people structure and a clear process to follow. That sounds pretty professional to me. Another thing that really helps is client reviews. Of course, if you're looking for your first client, you don't have any, but as soon as you do, share them, because they're just gonna make people trust you even more, you know, if they hear from other people what you can do. One mistake that I see a lot of beginners make is focusing too much on selling the business and not on what the business actually offers. People really don't want to hear like, hey, look how good I am, I can do this, I can do that, you should hire me. It comes off a little bit as off-putting and pushy, you know? But this of course doesn't mean that you shouldn't let people know your skills and what you can do. It's more about the way that you say it. Who would you believe the most? Someone who tells you that they can do something, or someone showing you how they do that thing? You're not gonna have to ask to hire you or convince anyone to do it. People are just gonna see what you can do and they will want to hire you for it. This is how storytelling can really impact your business. Find a situation or something that people can relate to and provide a solution for that. It's the same thing, still you and your business, but you're showing it from another perspective, one that's more relatable and more human. For someone who is struggling with the same thing that you are providing a solution for, hiring you is gonna be a no-brainer. Also, super important, always share insights on your design process. Whenever you have a project ready, don't just post the logo and call it a day. Share the entire project, build a case study for it, and show how much effort and thought there is behind this seemingly simple thing. You don't want to look like someone who just assembles things together. You have a voice and a perspective, and that is what is gonna get you hired. My last tip is not really about how to get clients, but more about what you should do while you wait for those clients. client. Whether you're looking for your first client or you're having a slow month, don't just sit around and be like, oh, I don't have any clients, I don't know what to do, and then do nothing about it. Use that time to invest in yourself and in your business. If you don't have a website, build one. If you have it, update it. Learn a new skill so you can add it to your services and provide something even better when the next client comes around. If you have some time on your hands, do something with it, because clients are not gonna fall on your lap. And this applies to everyone, even me. I've had some slow moments and I've used them to improve what I was providing. Like that time that I didn't book any clients for a month, and I didn't know what to do until I realized that the portfolio that I was showing on my website wasn't really aligned with the type of work that I was doing more recently. So I updated it, and just like that, clients came back. Every minute that you spend on your business is an investment for the future, and one day you are gonna see the results. It might be tomorrow, it might be in a month, but you are going to. All right, so I think that I've exhausted all my tips on this topic. I get this question literally every day, but I'm sure that I'm forgetting something. I hope that this video was helpful in any way. If it was, you can like the video or maybe leave a comment with more tips or share the story of how you got your first client. And of course, subscribe to the channel. I've made tons of videos on similar topics like how to find your design style, and I also do design a lot. You're getting everything. You can find me anywhere. You name it and I'm there. I've been on social media since I was 12 and I cannot get out. My main platform is Instagram, so you should definitely follow me there. Yeah, we have talked about how to get your first client, but if you're wondering what actually happens after that, like how do you work with them, then check out this video right here. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you again in another video next week. Ciao! Whoa, it's water.